I started my YouTube channel back in September of 2020. It was something I had wanted to do for a while. One day on a whim, I just decided, hey, I'm just going to upload a video. So I did like this Kiss ranking video in two parts. It got a little bit of attention. So I thought that was cool, and I'm thinking, okay, let me do some album reviews. So my first album review was the Striper album that came out at that time, Even the Devil Believes. And that was released around the same time as an album by Fit for a King called The Path. You know, you see, at that time when I was starting my channel, I was exploring a lot of like Christian metal bands. It was something I found very intriguing, and I wanted to like go down that rabbit hole. So I knew about a lot of Christian metal bands, and this is how I discovered Fit for a King. They were a metalcore band. You know, there's a big like chunk of like metalcore bands who fall under that umbrella of Christian metal bands. So now let me talk about this new album. It's called The Hell We Create, released on October 20th, 2022. This is their album number 7 in their discography, produced by Drew Falk and released on Solid State Records. Their last album that I was just talking about was called The Path. That was released in late 2020, and on that album, I thought it was pretty good. It was typical metalcore, but they did go in kind of like a pop direction in some of the songs. So I know that might have alienated some fans, but it had some decent songs. Now, on this album, The Hell We Create, I think they are kind of like taking a different path. I guess I had to like go with that pun, because they're going like a little heavier at times, but they're also kind of like going in more of a pop direction at times. So they're kind of like going to two extremes. They got some like really heavy stuff and some really like more like melodic stuff. So let's talk about the songs. So they open with The Hell We Create, just typical metalcore. Got elements of like pop production. You got the heavy riffs you would expect. The vocals, we got the clean vocals and the heavy vocals. You're gonna get that throughout the whole album. This song has lots of energy, some melodic riffs, and melodic vocals in the verses. Good drumming, like lots of like fast like drum rolls. So I like that part about it. Then after that, the end, the other side. This one is just fast and heavy. There's lots of layers of sound. You got the harsh vocals in the verse. Starts out heavy, but then they bring in like the melodic vocals in the chorus, and then it becomes more melodic. You got some fast drum beat, that old school metalcore sound. And one thing they are doing on this album is those, I'm going to call them Lorna Shore style breakdowns, where they kind of like just come to a complete stop and it just gets very atmospheric, and they have these like heavy like boom, 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 like, you know what I'm talking about. Those heavy like, riffs, and they do that a lot. So the third song is Falling Through the Sky, and it's a little more melodic, something a little similar to what they do on The Path, a little more modern metal. Then they go into Sink Below, typical metalcore sound. There's a balance of the clean and harsh vocals, so just typical metalcore. Then Reaper, this one mixes like typical metalcore with some elements of like 2000s metal. Like I noticed in the vocals they try to do something like Linkin Park, like that kind of thing. And they also do some like really harsh screams like deathcore. So they're kind of like going in like the two extremes. They're doing some more of the melodic stuff and more of like the really like heavy stuff. And they do have that like really heavy breakdown. Another song called Times Like This. This one features Jonathan Vigil of The Ghost Inside. This one is more pop oriented. So this is kind of like something that they were doing on their last album, The Path. But you do get some metalcore stuff, you know, here and there, but it's more pop. And we got Eyes Roll Back. You got some like really like pummeling deathcore style riffs. So they kind of try to go heavy on that one. Then with Fracture, they kind of go in a different direction, which is a ballad. You got that modern pop influence, and you get some heavy guitars and vocals on the chorus, and you know they sound kind of like a post-grunge band, like a Breaking Benjamin or 3 Days Grace at times, but it's a catchy song. Then we got Reaching Out, another pop song, but it does have those metalcore style vocals and melodic guitars, but more of that modern pop sound. You know, you got the emotional lyrics. It's about somebody reaching out, going through a painful experience, and you get some parts with some heavy galloping riffs. But in general, it's just very laid back. Final song, What You Left Behind. It's more like almost like modern power metal in the beginning, but then they kind of change it up. They go into the more electronics, more modern pop in the pre-chorus, and more metalcore oriented sound. And they have those like heavy breakdowns with those heavy riffs. So the album's not long. It's about like 38 minutes long, so it's a good length. You get like a mix of the different stuff, some like really heavy stuff and some more stuff that's a little more like lighter, poppier. So you kind of get like kind of two extremes with this album. So I thought it was decent. You know, you do get some stuff heavier than the path. You get stuff kind of lighter in the path, I guess you can call it that. It's not bad, not great. It's not going to be making any end of the year list, but I think it's just okay. You know, the production is decent. They're kind of doing some new stuff, but they also kind of do more of that like modern pop, you know, that modern production. I think if you're a fan of this band and a fan of this genre, I think you might like it. You might like some of the new stuff they're doing, some of the different directions they're going in. But all in all, final score, 7 out of 10. That is all. Let me know what you thought in the comment section. In my next video, I'm going to try to do one of my like best metal of the week, because there were a lot of bands that I'm not going to have time to do full reviews. Joe Turner, Dead Cross, a couple others. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.